Good morning, Quantum Life. I am bringing you a special energy update. Felt very inspired after my morning meditation today to just hop online and discuss what's going on energetically right now with everybody and the world. First, a few announcements coming up. We actually have a couple of huge announcements that we're going to be making this week with Quantum Life and Quantum Life subscription group. And as we're rolling into this whole new pattern work that I have been channeling, it's been really significantly fast-paced awareness work. And it's really bringing us all up to speed exactly where we need to be right now to take full responsibility of ourselves. And when I say responsibility, I mean the ability to finally respond to ourselves. You know, what's been buried and trapped within, what secrets we've kept from ourselves, what we've been in denial of, what we've rejected within ourselves, what we have been disassociated from. And that's what this energy report is all about. It's all about all of that is coming to the surface right now. But first I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be releasing about 20 minutes from my TICA class last Saturday that talks all about this process of uncovering a pattern. And it's really important class that we did. And I just feel like I want to give you guys, the first part of that so that you can kind of use that in your daily practices right now. The rest of it will be in the Quantum Life subscription group that is going to be, we're adding a whole bunch of new features to Quantum Life subscription. I finally figured out a way for that I can record Skype. So I've been working to record a bunch of my Skype time travel and healing sessions, and so we'll be releasing those. And as well as I will be actually doing second Sunday in July live from the beach in California, probably by myself because my stepdad is getting married, and so I'm going to go out there for his wedding. So second Sunday we'll be on the beach in California. What else is going on? Oh, besides summer solstice beginning and us moving out of Gemini, which means basically Gemini is all about the mental side of spirituality. It's all about the logic. It's all about figuring things out from the mind and really kind of like figuring out who we are through this like deep accelerated journey between logic and spirit, ego and soul. And that's what Gemini has been about, this process that we're moving out of, and we're moving now into Cancer, the season of Cancer. And Cancer is all about emotions, and so get ready for the feels. And I will tell you that I did my first podcast yesterday, and I released it, and we'll put it live on here as soon as I go down and talk to Susie, because we just wrapped it last night. It was the first podcast that I've done in a year, and I really miss doing my podcasts because I can just kind of sit down and just mind dump, and I don't get distracted by seeing my mug and all your questions. I can just sit down and just like let it flow. So I did my first podcast in a year, and it's called Becoming Higher Self, and it's about 40 minutes long, and it will be put on Quantum Life free today at some point, probably this morning. But getting into it, this season of Cancer is all about processing emotions. So what's going to be happening, and I said this in my podcast yesterday, is your manifestations right now are being governed by your higher self, which is we're moving out of the paradigm of thought. Held focus creates matter, creates reality. What's happening now is because we're moving so quickly into our ascension process and so quickly into our becoming, that higher self is like, no, I'm going to step in and I'm going to look at where all of their blocks are, his or her blocks, and I'm going to set up the perfect scenario for them so that they can see their block, so that they can see their energy clusters that are not they're not defined through love. And I said something in the podcast, and I really want to make sure that I clarify is that I said we're moving into war, and I don't mean a war like a third world war, although from some people's perspective it's going to appear that way depending on what vibrational frequency you're in. But the war has always been against love. It's always been against love. It's not money, it's not oil, it's not power, it's not food. It is a war against love. And you have been fighting that war against yourself since the day someone told you that you were not love. And so that is the only thing that we will have to use to win this war, is love. And so you're here to remember that you are love. You're here to remember, put back together, that you are not here to get love or give love, but be love and be in that state of being. And so no matter what you do in the next forever, your only ammunition will be to love the situation, to love the person, to love the idea, to love the emptiness, to love the pain, to love the dark, to love. That is the only thing that we're going to be able to utilize to basically be on the light side instead of the light side playing the dark, because we're in denial and rejection and suppression of ourselves. And so moving into this space of with this Cancer divine energy that's going to be helping us assist pull all of this emotion out of our bodies, you cannot outrun your emotions during this Cancer season, which means that if you are in a relationship that is causing you to feel bad about yourself and you leave this relationship, you better believe that higher self is going to give you within a 48-hour period something else for you to feel your feelings, because we are moving in a fast moving journey right now. And so you can't outrun yourself. You can give your ego the illusion that you're outrunning the problem or you're moving away from the problem, but you're not here to numb the pain anymore. You're not here to cover up. We're not here to feel better. We're here to feel our feelings. And I've been talking a lot about how we have medicated ourselves, even with spirituality, medicated ourselves and gotten a hit off of a spiritual teacher or a book that we're reading, whatever we're using as our Tylenol, so that we don't have to feel what is bubbling up within us. With the best advice that I could give you guys for the coming weeks that I'm giving myself this morning is to just be with the storms. Be with it in a state of grace. Ask your guides to really come in and help you, assisting in feeling the grief that's buried underneath the anger. Feel the loneliness that's buried underneath what you've created this around yourself to fill the voids. Feel the pain of rejection. Feel the pain of isolation. Feel the numbness that you have towards your own children. Feel the emptiness that you have within your own connection to higher self. And if you can do this and you can really be with yourself for the next few weeks as this energy builds, it will come up through you and out, which means that you won't be dealing with this for the rest of your life. Emotion is just energy in motion. It wants to come up, it wants to be felt, it wants to be accepted, it wants to be honored, and it wants to move on. But what we do is it starts to come up and we go, no, I can't feel this. I can't feel this alone thing. I need someone to fill this void. No, I'm feeling completely like I'm a horrible person. I know I need my spirituality as my crutch. I'm feeling, lost. Oh, I need someone to guide me. I need someone to fill that void. See, we don't just use Tylenol for headaches. We use people, places, and things to numb ourselves from really feeling the feelings that we are feeling right now in life. Sorry, I was getting these messages at the top of the screen. And my best energetic advice is the medicine that I am taking myself, and that no matter what happens to me over the next 3 weeks, I'm going to fully embrace it as a divine gift, which means that everything that manifests into my world right now that is being gifted to me through higher self is I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to look at what feelings it creates within me, and I'm going to sit with those feelings, because whatever is manifesting in my now moment, if there's any emotional trigger at all, sadness, grief, any lower emotion, any dense emotion, any negative emotion that is going to come up from anything that manifests, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit with it like a child that needs to be held, instead of pushing it away into shopping or hanging out with my friends or whatever it is that we would normally do. You fill in the blank. Even if it is just moving into anger and being mad at the government, that is a way to medicate how you really feel about yourself. So what is it that we can do this week where we can feel our feelings without moving into that place of self-judgment, and sit back and nurture what comes up? Be in nature. Nature will help nurture you through this process, because nature is very calm and very still and very healing. And being around that energy will allow you to help you process emotions. 7 years ago when I started my journey, I started doing meditation walks, and I would get lost for 2+ hours, and I would use music that stimulated my vibrational state of being, and I would literally talk to my guides through nature. And I got so good at communicating with my guidance that I didn't necessarily need that routine anymore. And over the last couple of weeks, and I've said this in TICA, I feel like I've lost my connection to direct access, and so I have begun those meditation walks again and getting lost for 1 to 2 hours. And it's made all the difference in just being in that place of complete unknowing and saying, you know what, I'm just going to be in this place of nature, and I'm just going to be in the receiving of what the messages mean to me that are coming from my body, that are coming from my feelings, that are coming from my manifestations that are happening. Because when you try to cover up your feelings from this point on, all that will happen is you'll manifest something else that will make you feel that feeling. So you're feeling hurt, you run away from the hurt, you move into something that's exciting, because that's how spirit works, it's always using the carrot of excitement. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in that same situation where you're feeling all of that hurt again. You cannot outrun the hurt that you're feeling in your body. Your chakras are wanting to totally align, move into the crystallized form, and become the white light, because the 7 chakras actually make up the rainbow that are filtered through white light, and they are asking to become purified. So that's what all of this astrology that we're using as our guideposts to help us understand where we are in the state of being as far as the part of our evolution. So hopefully this helps you guys. I have this podcast that will be released today if it wasn't released yesterday on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and put that on. We'll be putting a 15-20 minute clip from TICA class last Saturday where we talk about processing the emotions and locating the patterns. And then we're going to be doing our question and answer on Friday here with all of you guys' great messages. So don't forget to go into that question and answer, which should be just the last post underneath me or one below Frank's, and write your question out, because that's how I will channel everything and get your questions answered. We're also doing our question and answer in the advanced group. And we'll be releasing the whole class in the TICA forum for Quantum Life subscription. So if you guys haven't joined over there yet, I recommend doing it, because this week we're going to be announcing big changes over there that is going to basically give you pretty much a lot of TICA access. So stick with your journey, feel your feelings, use the emotional current on the planet to help this move quickly through you, so you don't have to sit in it. Because here's the thing, if I told you that all you had to do was feel your feelings and let them come up and out and acknowledge them and accept them and be in love with the fact that everything you're manifesting right now is a gift from higher self, then you would start to process your journey so quickly. And it's really, I'll give you a hint, it's all about self-love and self-respect. So if you're not sure that it's okay for you to feel your feelings, say, you know, what is happening right now? Is this me respecting me? Is this me loving me? Is this me becoming that version of myself that I know I am? And because if you ever find yourself in a state of confusion, you can always look at the choice that you're about to make and say, is this something I prefer? And that's how you know whether you're really loving, not what they prefer or what mom prefers or what your husband prefers, but what you prefer. That is the true identity of self-love. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you soon.